Thank you, Bona MC, Bona Chairman, board members, members of the Great Ushuru SACCO, and other invited guests. Hamjaboni. Good afternoon. It's a good day, it's a great day that today we are having this members education. My name is Joroge Mwangi, Sub-County Cooperatives Officer, Dagoretti. Cooperatives is a devolved function, and we operate under the county government of Nairobi. And so we are using the different legislations. And the current one that we are using is the Cooperative Societies Act that is in the process of being amended to ensure that it considers the two levels of government, because cooperatives is a devolved function and it has to be in the Cooperative Societies Act to recognize the county governments, the functions of the different levels, that is the national and the county level. But cooperatives being devolved, we are there at the grassroots, ensuring the growth and development of cooperatives. And that is why in almost all your meetings, we are there so that you can be able to give guidance in terms of the provisions of the different legislations, and also the Cooperative Societies Act, and also the SACCO Societies Act. However, as we have heard that they're in the process of being amended to ensure that we get to the correct position. Both the Cooperative Societies Act and the SACCO Societies Act, they're in the process of being amended. All this is to ensure the safety of members' funds. The government is interested in members' funds in terms of growth of cooperatives. And that is why we are employed by the government, so that you can be able to work together with the cooperatives, so that in areas that you may require, we give clarifications of those different acts, we are there to give. So the government is not there to take members' funds, as the social media have been filled with so many information relating to your funds. The only interest is the growth of cooperatives, not that the government to take members' funds. Because the information that we are getting, I remember it was on Monday, the entire day, there was so many information in the social media relating to that the government wants to use the members' funds in terms of, is it kujenga mabarabara? Ama ilikuwa kujenga nini? Infrastructure. But they were talking of $1 trillion. That was the figure that was being given. So if I can be able to consider Ushuru SACCO, all the funds of Ushuru SACCO, I believe over 80% of all the funds is held by members in the form of loans. How can we be able to get that $1 trillion? And yet you are the owners of those finances. However, there was a clarification that was done in the evening. And I believe the CEO wanted to play the clip so that members can be able to listen to that statement that was made by the NTV in terms of apologizing, in terms of the issues that arose during the Ushirika Day celebrations, the information that the Deputy President gave, and what was reported. And this is to confirm that any information, all the information that you get in the social media may not be the correct position, because there are so many information relating to the same. All that is to erase or to reduce the confidence that members have in the cooperative movement. Not forgetting that the same day on Monday evening, the PS gave a press statement indicating that members' funds, they are owned by cooperatives, cooperatives are owned by members, and the funds that are there are owned by the members, and it is the members who make decisions on how they want that money to be used. When it comes to investment, it is the same members of cooperatives, through their elected leaders, who can be able to make decisions on where to invest. And that is why the amendments are there to ensure that members' funds are well safeguarded, where to invest. So in terms of what they are considering the super SACCO, that's a term that is being used, but if you can go through the bill, it talks of essential liquidity and shared services, a secondary cooperative society to undertake central liquidity and shared services, And it considers that 30 or more cooperatives may form a secondary cooperative society. It is not a must. It's not a must for you to be a member because it's talking of 30 or more. It's not that it's a must. And that is where now they may hold minimum liquidity reserves. So it's only the reserves that can be considered, not all the parts of the society. So it therefore implies it is the willing cooperatives to come together in order to form that secondary cooperative society. And also the consideration that the leaders will be appointed by the government. For clarity, the same SACCO Societies Act have the consideration of the deposit guarantee fund. The same guarantee fund that we find in the insurance industry, is it insurance that, or is it in the banking sector that you can only get back in case of a liquidation of a cooperative society, you can only get a maximum of 100,000. There is a fund that is considered to be that fund, the guarantee fund. The management of that fund is through a trustee, and the board of trustees are the ones to be appointed by the government. So it is not members' funds directly. It's a fund that is controlled by the government because cooperatives will be contributed towards that deposit guarantee fund. A percentage. So that fund will be managed by that board of trustees. So the persons to manage that are the ones that will be determined or appointed by the government, not members' cooperative societies. The way that you undertake your elections will still be the same because unless we change how cooperatives elections are held, nothing that will be. So it is about misinformation to the general public, and that is why I'm considering that we get the right information. Let's take time to go through the bill, and we also have the Cooperative Societies Act still under the process of being amended. It is almost at the final stage. The Deputy President confirmed that, is it in 1 month's time that it will be out? Because it has gone through the Senate, through the Parliament. There are some small issues that were being considered before it finally becomes through. And so those two acts are the ones that are under amendment, and that is why I believe the social media is giving so much information that is not giving confidence to the owners of cooperatives, who are the members, and they are the persons who have actually saved in cooperatives. So the government is only there to ensure that your funds are as safe as possible. And that is why you also have SASRA, to ensure that the issues of like the capital adequacy ratios are considered, all the prudential standards. That is why SASRA is there to ensure that every cooperative society that is licensed or authorized to operate is able to meet those requirements. So let's always consider that your funds are very safe, and you are the ones holding that money. The government cannot be able to tell you to bring the money for other purposes because you are the ones who owns those cooperatives. And therefore, we need to consider that we continue to save the same way we have been saving, because we save for purposes of tomorrow, because the future is always uncertain. It is you to create your future. And they say the future belongs to those who plan for it today. Plan for that future because today you are working hard, working for money. You have an employer who pays you at the end of the month. And therefore you need to know and to note that it is not the business of your employer to promote you. Neither is it the business of your employer to make you rich. It becomes your business. And how you can become rich is by making proper use of your society. Save as much as possible. Take loans that you can be able to consider they are the ones to uplift your financial standards by making proper use of the products that are there. I believe Ushuru SACCO have so many products. All those products are not meant for you. They are meant for all the members, but not for you as an individual. It is for you to make the right choice. Which product do I take at any given time that can be able to accelerate your financial growth? Make the right decision. Save as much as possible. Cooperatives are still stable. Your society is very stable. Providing those services to the members. You are the owners and the customers of this society. And therefore, that is why we have this members' education, to ensure that one of the principles of cooperatives Principle number 5, education, training, and information. Your society ensures that every year we have members' education so that you can get as much information as possible, because they say with information you can make the right decision. Make the right decision, ensure that you grow financially with this society. Don't follow others. Follow your direction, because remember, you are employed as an individual, you are working as an individual, you came to Nairobi as an individual. I believe most of us, we came to Nairobi kutafuta pesa. And you'll still be able to consider that you'll exit as an individual. Retirement is coming. How will you retire? That's how you need to think about. When will you retire? How will you retire? And where? Where will you be after retirement? That is where the decision have to be made today. Because it is not the business of your employer to make you rich. It's your business with whatever you earn. What the employer does is only to compensate you for the service that you have offered from date 1 to 30th. Therefore, make the right decision. Your funds are safe, and that is why the different regulations are there to safeguard your finances. That is why we are there as employees in cooperatives department, to ensure that we work together with all cooperatives, including Ushuru SACCO. With that, Chair, allow me to stop at that, and I believe members will be able to get as much information as possible to ensure their financial growth is in the right direction. Asanteni, and welcome to this members' education, which I believe will be very fruitful. So thank you.